Part 2. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 11. Chapter 11, Become a Witch from Today. Please collect. Subai was now in a mysterious state, unable to move or speak, unable to sense the sounds outside, and countless mysterious witchcraft words flashed through his mind. He is working hard to digest the witch characters. From the moment he recognizes the first witch character, the speed of identifying the new witch characters will become faster and faster. By the last 3 seconds, he can know the meaning of a witch character. I don't know how long time passed. Subai digested all the witchcraft and came to a void space. He knew that this was the spiritual sea, and he also saw the familiar fiery red light, in which totems that looked like snakes but not snakes, and dragons but not dragons were floating in the light. It turns out that this is the secret of the totem. Subai understood, and finally understood why witchcraft is so important. Totem is also a kind of witchcraft pattern, and it also evolved from witchcraft text, and the witchcraft text he is inheriting now is the root, that is, the source code. Only after passing on the inheritance can we know the meaning of each shamanic symbol. This is considered the top confidentiality agreement. Subai slowly opened his eyes and felt that the whole world was different. Objects that used to be blurry with myopia have completely disappeared. And can clearly see the spots on the object. He wants to know what he has changed, and asking the system is the fastest answer. System, open the Properties panel. Property panel. Host, Subai. Physical strength, 2.1. Normal 1. Strength, 2.2. Normal 1. Speed, 2.1. Ordinary people 1. Spirit, 12. Ordinary person 1. Witch power, 12. 12/100. Totem, Flame Dragon. Occupation, Junior Wizard. Novelist. Skill, Healing Leave 1. 0/100. Description, you have gotten rid of an ordinary person in a sub-healthy state and become a shaman with extraordinary power. Please remember your original intention. With so much change, it's no wonder it feels different. Subai looked at the attribute panel in surprise. Physical strength, and speed have more than doubled than before, especially mental strength, which has actually increased 10 times. System, how much does the source of witchcraft power depend on spiritual power? Subai asked in his mind. Ding. The power of a witch is the conversion of mental power into witchcraft power, and the skills that the host activates from the system package consume mental power. The system quickly gave the answer. So that's it. Subai understood. Witchcraft requires witchcraft power, and skills require spiritual power. He fainted at night, and now it's daytime the next day, and he can sign in again. System, sign in, and receive your assistance package. Subai said in his mind. Ding. Sign in successfully and receive a daily assistance package. Open it. Ding. Respectful host for primary assistance, a book on linen textile crafts. Subai immediately stood up and looked at the blue-covered book that appeared out of thin air in his hand. The cover had a few traditional Chinese characters written on it, linen textile craftsmanship. He opened the book and immediately complained the ancient book is dressed up, but the words used inside are modern. Simplified Chinese. However, this book comes at the right time, when the people of the tribe have clothes. Subai looked through the book and found that the craftsmanship was all ancient technology, not modern technology, and could be made entirely by hand. Only a few people in the tribe wore animal skins, and the totem warriors only had their lower bodies surrounded by beasts' skin, while women only get a bit of animal skin to cover their upper body, and their lower body is made of hay into a skirt, and some children are even naked. Only future totem warriors like Yanhua will be assigned a complete set of animal skin clothing. Of course, there must be the identity factor of Yanjiao. However, Subai felt that most of the animal skins in the tribe should be used to make tents, which led to the lack of animal skin clothing for the people in the tribe. After all, the place to live is more important. Inheritor, are you awake? Suddenly there was a shout from outside the tent. I woke up. Subai quickly rolled up the book and stuffed it into his pocket. The tent curtain was opened, and Yan Jiao and Kang Shi stepped in. Wu, how's it going? Subai asked quickly. Yan Jiao pursed his lips, shook his head slightly, and said the old man is tired, so he asked his ancestors to take him away. Subai opened his mouth, but found that nothing could be said. No matter how much language he tried, it seemed feeble. Heir, you are now a shaman, and the tribe needs your guidance. Yan Jiao said solemnly. I see. Subai said seriously. Wu, go to the main tent, it's already packed up. Yan Jiao said sideways. Good. Subai did not refuse. The tribe now needs a backbone to sit in the main tent to stabilize people's hearts. He stood up and walked out of the tent. Yan Jiao and Kang Shi followed behind, one on the left and one on the right, as if to help him. Support your back. After leaving the tent, Subai saw many people's eyes coming towards him, staring at his every move. They disappeared after he entered the main tent, and the uneasiness of many people was also appeased. In the main tent, Subai glanced around. The arrangement was the same as before he came, except that there was a new haystack in the corner and a new piece of animal skin to make the bed. Wu, we don't dare to touch the things here. It's all up to you to decide. Yan Jiao said in a deep voice. Don't move, many things are treasures, I will take them in slowly. Subai shook his head. Don't rush to clear away the old man's things. It will arouse the resentment of the people in the tribe. Wu, what should we do next? After Yan Jiao heard this, his attitude became less stiff. What about Wu's funeral? Subai asked back. We have cremated him according to his wishes. Yan Jiao took out a thumb-sized white object from his arms, handed it over and said, this is the only thing left after the cremation. Relics. Subai's eyes widened, and he raised his hand to take the relic, which was a little warm. Is anyone watching? It was deserted, with some squeaking. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 12. Chapter 12, is anyone trading linen? Please collect. What are relics? Kang Shi asked quickly. Even if a person with meritorious deeds is cremated, his relics will be formed. Subai thought of the legend of Buddha on the other side of the earth and said softly, this is also the first time I have seen it. I have heard about it before. What is merit? Kang Shi frowned and said. People who do good things, Subai said simply. He must be a good man and the best descendant in the world. Yan Jiao and Kang Shi nodded in agreement. Preserve it first, and then build a temple to worship. After taking back the tribe's ancestral land, Subai handed the relic back as a kind of spiritual commemoration. Yan Jiao nodded heavily, took the relic with both hands, and carefully put it into the animal skin bag. Wu, what do we do next? Kang Shi said worriedly, there is too little dried meat stored in the tribe, and it is difficult to supply the consumption of the preparing soldiers. Subai sat on the ground casually and asked, how many reserve soldiers do we have in total? There are 6 reserve warriors in total. Yan Jiao answered. So little? Subai said in surprise. There were originally 26 of them, but during the migration process, they were captured by the totem warriors of the Black Snake tribe. Yan Jiao stopped mid-sentence. Are they dead or alive? Subai asked, squinting his eyes. He might have died, or he might have become a slave. Yan Jiao gritted his teeth and said. Is the Black Snake tribe far away from us? Subai asked with a sigh of relief. As long as he doesn't die, he can be saved by becoming a slave. It's about 5 days' journey, 3 days' journey if the totem warriors go all out. Yan Jiao thought that Subai was scared, but he couldn't say anything. He could only say in a stiff tone, "Wu, don't worry, the Black Snake tribe will not come to us." "Oh? Why is that?" Subai asked in surprise. "The prey here is too poor." Yan Jiao said coldly, "It was because of this that the Yanlong tribe escaped the disaster." "In other words, can we develop stably?" Subai's black eyes stared at Yan Jiao. "Yes, yes." Yan Jiao hesitated before nodding. "Very good." Subai raised the corners of his mouth slightly. "What he lacks now is development time. Which, it's not good at all. We can't catch any prey at all." Kang Shi said straightforwardly. "Tell me about hunting." Subai plans to understand the situation first before making a new decision. "There are too few wild animals in our current hunting ground, and there are not many ferocious beasts. It takes a day to find prey and travel, and it takes about 3 days to hunt enough prey." Kang Shi shook his head and sighed. Yesterday, Wu also told Subai about ferocious beasts. Fierce beasts are also divided into classes: mixed ferocious beasts, pure ferocious beasts, relic ferocious beasts, and king ferocious beasts. And pheasants, hares, and wild boars are all wild beasts. To keep the blood strong, totem warriors need to eat a lot of ferocious beast meat in addition to physical exercise. Subai thought for a while and asked, "Now the meat we store, how long will it last for our tribe?" "All the people?" Yan Jiao asked. "Of course, I want everyone to eat meat in the future until they are full," Subai said very familiarly. Yan Jiao and Kang Shi were both silent, looking at their newly appointed shaman like a madman. How could he say such a stupid thing? When they were in their ancestral land, they couldn't let everyone in the tribe eat meat as much as they wanted. "Wu, this is impossible." Yan Jiao touched the corner of his head and persuaded, "The dried meat we store in the tribe now, if the people of the tribe can eat it freely, they won't be able to last even 1 day. Yes, those children are just like wolf cubs, they know how to eat meat," Kang Shi said with a bitter face. He also wanted everyone in the tribe to eat meat to their fullest, but how is this possible? Just relying on a hunting team composed of 6 totem warriors? It is impossible to do it even if they are exhausted. Hunting alone is definitely not enough. Subai shook his head. With the current number of totem warriors in the tribe, it would be possible to have enough food and clothing by doubling the number. But cultivating a totem warrior is too time-consuming and requires a lot of flesh and blood of ferocious beasts. It is not possible at this stage. Possibly violent. Well, Yan Jiao and Kang Shi were speechless. "Which, if we don't rely on hunting, there will be no meat to eat?" Yan Jiao said with a straight face. He felt that Xinwu was still too young and thought of things too simply. Subai did not explain, and then asked, "Do you know Azabu?" "Of course I know that linen is very rare, and only the top tribes have linen," Kang Shi said first, his purple eyes flashing brightly, looking forward to being able to wear linen clothes. Subai raised the corners of his mouth slightly, guessing that linen cloth had just begun to become popular, and it was considered a specialty of large tribes, or a unique product of their tribe. He then asked, "Which of you knows the market of Spotted Deer tribe?" "We've all been there once or twice," Yan Jiao said. "Is anyone trading in linen?" Subai asked, staring at the two of them closely. "Yes, but the quantity is relatively small, and people buy them as soon as they appear." Kang Shi nodded and told a bitter story. "When the big boss of Pine Needle took us there before, he wanted to buy a roll of linen to make clothes for the witches, but we brought too little dried meat and couldn't grab anything else." "Tribe. How much meat can be exchanged for a roll of linen?" Subai asked, squinting his eyes slightly. 3 stones of dried meat can be exchanged for a roll of linen," Yan Jiao answered. 3 stones. How heavy is this? Subai was a little confused. He had no idea about the units of weight and length in primitive society. Free flowers, just vote for the review. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 13. Chapter 13, Do I look like I'm joking? Please collect. We don't know how much it weighs either. This weight is set by the spotted deer tribe. We won't know until we compare there. Yan Jiao shook his head and said. After all, he was not the one who led the team to the spotted deer tribe for trade last time, and he was not very clear about the details of the transaction. What about the size of the stone? You should know how old it is, right? Subai asked. You must understand the weight of the transaction in order to calculate whether it is worth the transaction and the quantity to prepare. One stone is about as big as Kangshi's body. Yan Jiao glanced around and made gestures on Kangshi's neck and belly with his hands. It is estimated that one stone weighs about 200 kilograms. After Subai calculated, he asked, how long is that roll of linen? It is 4 knots long and the width is 1 knot long. Yan Jiao saw that the witch was very interested in the linen cloth, so he started talking without asking. The spotted deer tribe uses grass ropes to tie knots to divide the length. 1 knot is about as long as 1 step. That is about 4 steps away, equivalent to about 2 meters in length and 50 centimeters in width. Subai fully understood now. He was a little surprised. A roll of 2-meter-long linen cloth could be exchanged for 600 kilograms of dried meat. It was a bit exaggerated. It should be said that the benefits of monopoly are too great. It seems that you have to make a fortune quietly without attracting the attention of the big tribes. Subai murmured to himself. The Yanlong tribe is still too weak now and can only develop strategically. At least it will have to wait until it can compete with the big tribe before it is exposed. Wu, what do we do next? Yan Jiao repeated this question. Totem warriors can't be idle, waiting for the witch to tell them what to do next, whether to hunt or to find materials for the witch dominoes. How long will the dried meat we have left be enough for our tribe? Subai's deep black eyes looked at the two of them. Yan Jiao felt a little uncomfortable being stared at, as if his mind was being penetrated. He lowered his head and thought for a moment, then said, if you save some food, it will be enough for the people in the tribe. Eat for 15 days. 15 days is enough. Subai breathed a sigh of relief, then turned to a serious face and said, Kangxi, just in case of unplanned changes, you will lead the hunting team and set off for another hunt. Yes, Kangxi breathed a sigh of relief, as long as he has something to do. Yan Jiao's face changed slightly, and he quickly asked Wu, are you planning something? I have a way of weaving burlap, Subai said calmly. How can this be? Yan Jiao widened his eyes and looked at the young wizard in disbelief, trying to see a change in his face. How to weave linen? Kangxi muttered slowly for a moment, then his purple eyes slowly widened, and he shouted out loud, Wu, are you kidding me? Do you think I'm joking? Subai rolled his eyes and said angrily, I don't have that much time to tease you. Having just taken over the position of witch, he still has a lot of things to be busy with, especially since he doesn't understand the tribe at all. This is a headache. Witch, can you really make linen cloth? Yan Jiao took a step closer, his red eyes widened, his breathing became much heavier, and his hands were trembling a little. Well, it's not that difficult, Subai nodded. The specialty he originally prepared was not made of linen, but who told him that today's aid gift package was made of linen textile technology, which made him change his mind. Not difficult. Yan Jiao and Kangxi's mouths twitched, and they had the urge to vomit blood. This young witch was not serious at all. The old witch missed him the first day he left. Many thoughts flashed through Yan Jiao's mind, and then he said excitedly, great, as long as we have Mabu, we can definitely develop a big tribe like the Yema tribe. Yema tribe? Is linen produced by this tribe? Subai asked curiously. Huh? Wu, don't you know the Yema tribe? Where did your method of making linen come from? Yan Jiao said in surprise. Who told you that my method of making linen cloth came from the Yema tribe? Subai found that this chief always liked to think about things. Could it be that you invented it yourself? Kang Shi looked at Subai in shock, his purple eyes shining with admiration. That's right, Subai nodded calmly. 4 days ago, when you fainted, was it because someone knew that you could make sackcloth, and then you were hunted down? Yan Jiao began to think about it again and said vigilantly, which, you must never tell anyone about your ability to make sackcloth. I know. Subai's eyes trembled. This chief is really good at making connections. Which, are we going to start making linen? Kang Shi couldn't wait to say. Do not worry. Subai glanced around the tent and saw no chairs at all, not even a table. Woo, there are only 8 days left before the Spotted Deer Tribe market. There are still 3 days on the road. We only have 5 days. Yan Jiao is not stupid either. He immediately thought of exchanging the linen cloth for dried meat or something like that. There's no point in rushing, we don't have the materials, Subai said helplessly. Although everything has been planned, the material for making hemp thread is the most critical. This is why he asked Kang Shi to continue hunting. If he can't find the plants for making hemp, he can also have a future. There is no way out. Perhaps because of writing novels, Subai habitually planned many things, including possible accidents. Whatever materials you need, we'll find them right away, Kang Shi shouted impatiently. No, you can lead the hunt. Subai shook his head and said. But, Kurayashi also wanted to see the birth process of Azabu, but Azabu was too mysterious. Kang Shi. Yan Jiao said in a low voice, I'm still here in the tribe. He remembered the words of the old witch and respected him as well as the new witch, so he had to uphold the witch's instructions. I'm so excited. Kang Shi lowered his head sarcastically. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 14. Chapter 14, Plants for Making Hemp. Please collect. Kang Shi, when you go hunting, you can also look for hemp-making plants. Subai comforted him. What kind of plant does it look like? Kang Shi said hurriedly. I don't know if there is such a plant nearby. Subai frowned and thought for a while, then said softly, I will tell you about the characteristics of plants. You can find some plants and try them. You said it, we remember it. Yan Jiao and Kang Shi calmed down. The stems of hemp plants are not very thick, about the size of a thumb. The stems can be easily torn into strips, the thinner the better. Subai explained the characteristics of hemp fiber. He was afraid that the plant types in the primitive social world here were different from those on the earth, so he did not mention the rami and other plants on the earth, so as not to waste too much time looking for them. Why don't we do a big search? Can the stem be easily torn into strips? Yan Jiao and Kang Shi frowned and started thinking. Go ahead and find the linen making materials before you can start making linen cloth. Subai said helplessly, it's hard for a clever woman to make a meal without rice. Yes. Yan Jiao and Kang Shi turned around and rushed out of the tent. Azabu will be the key to the tribe's rise. Neither of them can trust others and can only lead the team to watch. Quite full of energy, Subai looked at the swaying door curtain with a chuckle, and then focused on the inside of the tent. He began to pack up the tent, sorting some useful things into categories, and also found a few wooden boxes made of ordinary wood. These things should be the common collection of witches. Subai opened a box. There were many strange things inside, including stone tablets with broken witchcraft inscriptions, bones of unknown ferocious beasts, some high-quality animal skins. Huh? What's inside? He found a wooden tube in the corner of a box, carefully took out the wooden tube, and after pulling out the cork, he found black juice. Could it be that this is ink? Subai guessed in surprise, but no one introduced him, so he couldn't decide to pay attention. He put the wooden tube helplessly, sighed and said, really, Wu Bulletin leaves an assistant or something. Subai glanced at the messy tent, and decided to find an assistant. He would ask the assistant to help with trivial matters. He picked up a roll of animal skins, found a few pieces of charcoal, and walked out of the tent to find someone. Go. You are here. After Subai came out of the tent, he immediately found the horned lady standing in the shadow of the tent. He could detect Yanhua's figure in advance, which was impossible before. But after inheriting the witch's ability, he could vaguely sense that there were people around him. Yanhua was stunned for a moment. Just when she was about to approach him quietly, Subai saw through it, which made her lose a little bit of fun. She looked up at the new wizard with black hair and black eyes in front of her. The red eyes met the black eyes. She was involuntarily attracted by the deep black eyes, as if her mind was about to be sucked in. "What are you doing?" Subai waved and raised his hand. Yanhua was awakened and lowered her head in panic, losing her previous arrogance. She was very surprised. Subai gave people the same feeling as the old witch gave her, full of mystery and unfathomable. "You are sick." Subai looked at the abnormal Niojiao Niang in confusion, couldn't help but stepped closer, and reached out to touch Yanhua's forehead. Yanhua was a little confused and noticed a hand on her forehead. The cold feeling came from the palm, and her face instantly turned red. What are you going to do?" She took a step back in confusion, blushed, and said incoherently, I will not give in to you." "Ha! Su." Bai raised his hands, rolled his eyes, and said angrily, "What are you talking about? Besides, I don't like forced." Yanhua didn't react until she finished speaking. She was so embarrassed that she didn't know how to answer the question. "Okay, I have something to do with you." Subai didn't embarrass Niojiao Niang too much and found a step for her to get off. "What's up?" Yanhua quickly calmed down her emotions and encouraged herself in her heart. "You are the one who wants to be a totem warrior. You must hold on tight." "How many people are still in the tribe now?" Subai asked. "There are not many people left. My father took many people into the woods just now, and Uncle Kangxi also took the hunting team to hunt," Yanhua said with a frown. "Then why didn't you go?" Subai asked curiously. Yanhua glanced at Subai faintly, and whispered, "My father asked me to guard outside the tent, so that no one can use the witch." "Huh? So who did the witch call before?" Subai's eyes lit up. If he found the person the witch had used before, he would have a ready-made assistant. He died. During the battle with the Black Snake tribe, the guard witch was killed when he left. Yanhua's red eyes dimmed. "That's it," Subai sighed. "The Black Snake tribe has killed many of the pillars of the Yanlong tribe. It's really a deadly feud." "Wu, is there anything you want me to do?" Yanhua said solemnly. In the past, when she was too young, she dreamed of being asked to do things by the old witch, but now she has taken on the job that she dreamed of before. "Help me find a girl with a smart mind and hard-working hands and feet," Subai told the assistant's request again. "Is the witch looking for a witch?" Yanhua's face looked a little unnatural, remembering that her father asked her to be a witch before. "What is a Maiko?" Subai turned his head and asked. "Just help the witch clean up the housework, convey instructions, and other things." Yanhua's cheeks turned slightly red. There is one more thing she didn't say, that is, if the witch is loved by the witch, she will even become his wife. Moreover, the status of the witch is very high in the tribe, and she is one of the few except for the witch, the chief, and the leader of the hunting team. Except for a few people, there are few people who have a higher status than the Maiko. It turns out this is the Maiko. Su. Bai understood and said with certainty, "Then I need to find a witch to help me. Who do you think is suitable in the tribe?" I know someone." Yanhua hesitated and said. "Asking for flowers, asking for evaluation votes, asking for collection, asking for everything. I was a village chief in a primitive society." Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 15. Chapter 15, The Choice of the Witch. "Please collect. Do you want to recommend that you become a Maiko?" Her father's words flashed through Yanhua's heart, making her struggle even more. But if I can't become a totem warrior, I won't be able to avenge my good friend Shalan. She will definitely laugh at me. Shalan, her good friend, is a girl whose strength is not much worse than hers. Her name comes from Shalan fruit, which is the name of her best friend's favorite wild fruit. Are you okay? Is that person difficult to find? Subai could tell that Niu Jiao was worried. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so entangled. The expression on Yan Hua's face was too obvious. Sometimes he frowned, sometimes pouted, and after a while he gritted his teeth. No, it's not hard to find, that person is my good friend Yan Hua's red eyes flashed, and she finally pushed out another good friend. She decided to be a totem warrior. If she became a witch, she would have no time to exercise. If she doesn't have enough energy and blood, she won't be able to awaken the totem. She wants revenge. Only by becoming a totem warrior can one kill the people of the Black Snake tribe. Okay, take me to her. Subai didn't ask Niu Jiao Niang what she was worried about. Who girl doesn't have something to worry about? I'll bring her over, Yan Hua said quickly. How could she let Wu find someone in person? If her father knew about it, she would probably have to give her a lesson again. No, I just want to know about the tribe, Subai said gently. As a village chief who leads a tribe, he must understand the living environment of the people in the tribe. Okay, Yan Hua nodded helplessly and led the way. The tribal camp was very quiet, and no one was seen. It was not until they reached the edge of the tribe that they saw a group of children playing, or wrestling, and rolling mud. They are, Subai asked with his mouth slightly open. They are orphans and no one cares about them, Yan Hua said with a complicated expression. Normally, she doesn't like to come here. She feels uncomfortable when she sees these children, but she can't help them. Where's the food? What do they eat? Subai frowned and said. The tribe will distribute food to them. If they are talented, after the age of 14, a totem warrior will teach them how to exercise and give them a lot of fresh meat to increase their energy and blood so that they can awaken their totem, Yan Hua said in a low voice. What to do if you have no talent? Subai's face looked better. Fortunately, the orphans were not left to fend for themselves. It also let him know that he should start to improve the treatment of the tribe's orphans. These people are the future of the tribe. Those who are not talented have to work, responsible for collecting food, building tents, polishing stone tools, and processing animal skins. Yan Hua told a series of things familiarly. Have you ever done these jobs? Subai asked curiously. I have polished stone tools, and I made the animal skin clothing myself, Yan Hua said matter-of-factly. She looked at Subai secretly and became more and more sure of her inner guess. The witch must be from a large tribe. Otherwise, how could he not know these trivial things? Why are you looking at me like this, with something on your face? Subai touched his face curiously. No, Yan Hua was caught peeping, and she changed the subject in a disguised manner and said, Wu, please go away, my friend is in the tent. The two came to a 5-6 meter high cone-shaped tent, made of gray, black, and brown animal skins spliced with vines. Rain, Yan Hua just wanted to call her good friend to come out. Don't shout. Subai quickly stopped and asked, is she alone in there? No, several people live together, and this tent is also where they work, Yan Hua answered doubtfully. That's good, I'll observe your friend first to see if he's suitable to be a witch, Subai whispered. When he becomes his witch, he will definitely come into contact with many secrets, such as the things that come out of the daily aid package. Even some unimportant items need to be kept secret, so the selection cannot be careless. Okay, Yan Hua hesitated for a while before nodding. Subai secretly opened the door curtain and observed the inside of the tent. He found that there were 3 people in the tent. A girl was sewing animal skins, and 2 women in their 30s. She was braiding straw rope. He looked at the girl carefully. After careful observation, he found that the girl had a pair of pink ears with white tips, which looked a bit like fox ears. Subai immediately understood that this was a fox-eared girl. How many times? When two women are together, they will start chatting about trivial gossip when they are bored. Yuying, why don't you go and stay at the house of the big boss in Kanji? Suffer here with us, the older woman said. Yes, the new witch is so young. As the niece of the big boss, you will definitely have the opportunity to serve the witch, another woman echoed. No, my aunt is already pregnant with the child, so I'm not doing well where I am, the girl Yuying said softly. You are so stupid, the big boss of Kangxi is a totem warrior, and he has no shortage of food from you, so you help him save meat. The older woman said that she hates that iron cannot become steel. Yes, the one in my family died early, otherwise he could have become a totem warrior, so there would be no shortage of meat to eat, the other woman sighed. The atmosphere suddenly became silent, and the two women suddenly fell into their own emotions. Yuying pursed her dry mouth and did not answer. She quickly pricked the animal skin with her hands and pierced it with vines. Her hands were tired, so she stopped and flicked her wrist, ready to stretch her waist and move her body. She raised her head and met the black eyes in the gap of the tent curtain. Who's there? Yuying's pink eyes widened in panic. What? The other two women turned around and saw only the door curtain that was still shaking. Just now, someone was peeking. Yuying shrunk and said timidly. I definitely don't know which gangster came to take a peek at Yuying, the older woman joked. Yes, after all, Yuying is so beautiful and is already 16 years old, so she can already choose a husband, another woman joked. You, stop talking. Yuying suddenly blushed with embarrassment, the fox ears on her head fell down, and her whole body shrank into a ball. Every time this topic is mentioned, Yuying blushes. It's so cute. It's not good to be too shy. I don't know who will be tested by the big boss of Kangxi. Please, please, please vote for flowers. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 16. Chapter 16, They are all illiterate. Please add it to your collection. Outside the tent, Subai tugged on his collar in embarrassment. Puff, Yanhua suppressed her laughter and looked at the embarrassed Subai with a smile in her red eyes. Especially when she heard the discussion in the tent, she almost laughed out loud. Ahem, Subai coughed lightly and asked in a lowered voice, that girl with fox ears named Yuying, is your friend? Yes, Yuying is very diligent and a very nice person, but she is too stubborn. Yanhua felt a little helpless after praising her. What's wrong? Subai asked curiously. Yuying is Uncle Kangxi's biological niece. Her father and mother died when she was young, and her aunt has been raising her up. Yanhua told some truth. Auntie got pregnant recently, and Yuying moved out to live outside. She said she couldn't eat uncle's food for free. She did the right thing, Subai agreed. Yuying also works at Uncle Kangxi's house, so she can't get much meat here. Yanhua rolled her eyes and said. No, you don't understand her. Subai shook his head with a chuckle. Ah. Why don't I understand Yuying? I'm her good friend. Yanhua argued with her red eyes staring. If there is too much difference between giving and receiving, people will feel guilty, Subai said calmly. He was an orphan before, and he had this feeling in the orphanage. People can't take it for granted and want to get relief all the time. It will make people lazy, create a sense of dependence, and eventually they will become useless. What's the meaning? Yanhua was a little confused and didn't understand it at all. She felt it made sense but couldn't understand the deeper meaning. It's determined by the environment. It doesn't matter if you don't understand. The corners of Subai's mouth raised slightly. Maybe the candidate for the witch has been decided. Wu, is Yuying suitable? Yanhua asked a little nervously. Let her come out and I'll ask a few more questions, Subai said gently. Okay. Yanhua immediately opened the door curtain and shouted to the tent, Yuying, the witch is looking for you. Coming, Yu Ying replied timidly. Wow, Wu actually came to see Yu Ying. Shouldn't she choose Yu Ying to be the shrine maiden? When Yu Ying heard what the two said, her heart jumped with fright, and she hurriedly packed up her appearance. Hoo-hoo. She took a few deep breaths before slowly leaving the tent. She froze when she saw Subai. Wu, why is Wu here? The only thought in Yu Ying's mind now. Especially when she saw Subai's black eyes, she was even more overwhelmed. The words of the two women in the tent flashed in her mind, and her face suddenly turned red. Subai looked at the girl in front of him. He couldn't see Yu Ying clearly in the tent just now, but now he could really see her appearance clearly. She gave the impression that she was a pink girl. Pink hair, pink fox ears, pink eyes, especially a fluffy pink fox tail with a white tip. The fox-eared girl is about 1.55 meters tall, just reaching Subai's chest. However, the girl's breasts are not of a size for her age. At least they are much larger than the horned girl next to her. Subai turned his head and glanced at the Niojiao Niang's breasts, then lowered his head and glanced at the fox-ear Niang's breasts, and shook his head involuntarily. Everything was afraid of comparison. Wu, are you thinking about something bad? Yanhua said with narrowed red eyes. No, I didn't. Don't talk nonsense. Subai quickly stopped comparing his eyes with each other. Snort, Yanhua snorted coldly, raised her chin proudly, and quickly crossed her hands in front of her chest. Her red eyes moved downward slightly, and she glanced at Yu Ying's chest, and then I pressed my breasts with my arms, and suddenly I felt very wronged. I have obviously exercised, so why have I grown up? What will I do if I have a baby in the future? Yu Ying, can you write? Subai asked with some expectation. Me, I can't write, Yu Ying timidly replied in a low voice. Which, except for the old witch who can write, no one in the tribe can write, and none of them can read. Yanhua sighed and replied. Can't even write, Subai was dumbfounded. Everyone in the tribe was illiterate. Well, our tribe has no writing. Yanhua nodded affirmatively and explained in a clear voice, only the big tribes have their own writing. We don't have anyone to teach us how to write. Are you saying that the characters between the big tribes and the big tribes are different? Subai asked in a seductive voice. Yes, Yanhua responded with a crisp voice. The corners of Subai's eyes twitched, and his scalp was really numb. How could he learn to read? The co-author himself is also a literate person in this era. Do you want him to learn to read again? But the writing of each large tribe is different. Do we have to learn it again? There is no need to think about shamanism. This spiritual power is not enough. Without inheritance, it is impossible to teach people. Wait, why do you want to learn the writing of other tribes? If it is not for cultural exchange, there is no need to learn Chinese characters for the time being, Subai asked himself, frowning and thinking. If the Yanlong tribe develops and becomes a large tribe, shouldn't others learn our writing? And then use the influence of writing to spread the rule of the Yanlong tribe. Subai's eyes brightened, and he did the opposite. Instead of joining others, he asked others to join us. Well, mainly because he was too lazy to learn other tribes' writing systems. Who knows how many tribes have their own writing systems? If it was just the writing of one or two powerful tribes, he would still learn it if given the chance. Then, literacy must also be put on the agenda, and the text will be in the simplified Chinese characters of the earth. The corners of Subai's mouth rose. Yanhua and Yu Ying looked at each other, communicating with each other's eyes, as if they were asking, Wu, what's going on? If you think it looks good, please vote for flowers and comments. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 17. Ahwa, what happened to Wu? Yu Ying stepped on her feet and asked worriedly in Niojiao Niang's ear, did I say something wrong? I think should not be. Yanhua said hesitantly. Real, Yu Ying was a little unconvinced. Ever since she said she couldn't write, Wu's expression changed and she kept mumbling. Otherwise, why don't you go ask a witch? Yan Hua raised the corner of her mouth and encouraged her in a wicked way. No, no more. Yu Ying immediately flinched and shook her head quickly. You are still so timid. Yan Hua said helplessly. Shalan and Yu Ying are the best friends of the Yan Long tribe. In the past, in the ancestral land of the Yan Long tribe, the three of them often slept in a cave, but since the arrival of the Black Snake tribe, all good things are ruined. Yu Ying lowered her head in embarrassment. Seeing the fox-eared lady's dilemma, Subai came to the rescue and said, "Okay, it doesn't matter if you don't know how to write. I will teach you." Eh? Yan Hua stared at her red eyes and said in surprise, do you know how to read? Of course I can read. Subai smiled and showed his white teeth. Really? Yan Hua once again verified her guess. Wus are people from large tribes, and only large tribes can have writing. Sure enough. What? Subai asked curiously. Yan Hua was stunned for a moment when she was asked. She remembered that the old witch told her not to inquire about so many new witches, so she hesitated. It's nothing, I just. Okay, it's okay if you don't want to say it. Subai waved his hand, turned around and asked the fox-eared girl gently, do you want to be a witch? I'm missing an assistant right now. Eh? Be a witch? Yu Ying stared at her pink eyes, her foxtail stood up, and she felt a little at a loss. Yes, Subai said seriously. Yu Ying lowered her head, holding the hem of the animal skin clothes tightly with her little hands, and said a little unconfidently, but, I am clumsy and always do the wrong things. Wu, don't listen to her nonsense. Yan Hua took a step across, came behind the fox-eared lady, patted Yu Ying on the shoulder and said she is timid and will be in a hurry when she is nervous. Once you get to know her, you will find that she is very good at work. Yu Ying wanted to say something, but Niujiao Niang immediately covered her mouth. Stop talking and quickly agree to the witch. Yan Hua pressed her chin on the top of the fox-eared girl's head and whispered, didn't you want to be a witch before? Now is an opportunity. Yu Ying remained silent, her pink eyes flashing with confusion. Are you unwilling? I don't force it, Subai chuckled. No, she does, Yan Hua shouted anxiously and quickly removed her hand from fox-eared girl's mouth. What about you? Yu Ying turned to look at Niujiao Niang and whispered, don't you also want to be a witch? The three of them began to dream of becoming witches and learning witchcraft knowledge from their hands. It can be said that being a witch is one of the professions that girls most want to be. The other one is to be a totem warrior. Xiao, stop talking. Yan Hua covered the fox-eared girl's mouth again, and said with firmness in her clear voice, my dream has changed. Now I want to be a totem warrior. Immediately afterwards, she grabbed the fox-eared girl's ear and said softly, Xiao Yu, Sha Yan's dream will be left to you. Yu Ying froze when she heard it, her pink eyes suddenly widened, and tears gradually filled her eyes. She nodded heavily and said with a choked voice, I'm going to do it. Yan Hua, you covered her mouth, Subai reminded silently. Oh, Yan Hua quickly let go of her hand. Have you decided to become a Maiko? Subai asked again gently. I will definitely become a good Maiko. Yu Ying clenched her little fists cutely and shook it cutely. So, a top priority for you. Subai was immediately attracted by the cuteness and resisted the urge to step forward and pinch the fox-eared lady's face. You said. Yu Ying's voice softened again and returned to her timid look. The first task is to wash your face and become a little cat. Subai's black eyes were smiling, looking at the dusty face of the fox-eared girl, especially the handprint left by the horned girl near her mouth. Yu Ying was stunned. Yan Hua was also stunned. This task is not difficult, right? Subai asked strangely. Wu, the tribal water is very precious. Yu Ying pursed her lips and said boldly, I can't wash my face with water. That would be too wasteful. Oh, Subai raised his eyebrows. He really didn't understand the water situation of the tribe. He asked curiously, "Where does our tribe get water?" "There is a small lake in the forest above, but there are a group of very powerful beasts in the water, and only the totem warriors dare to approach it." Yanhua turned around and pointed to the mountains to the west, and said in a deep voice, "The water in our tribe is transported by the totem warriors. It is only enough for us to quench our thirst." In other words, the people in the tribe haven't bathed for 17 days. Subai's face changed slightly, and then he glanced at the fox-eared lady and the horned lady, and moved back a little bit quietly. Ha! Yanhua and Yu Ying were stunned. Isn't the focus on bathing? Shouldn't the focus be on drinking water? Especially when they saw Subai's disgusted expression and his retreating movements, Yu Ying saw I was so angry that I wanted to bite someone. Snort. Yanhua snorted coldly, expressing her dissatisfaction. Ahem. Subai coughed slightly in embarrassment and said quickly, "Take me to observe that small lake and see if we can find a new way to get water. It is impossible for people to live without water. The first priority now is to solve the water problem. At least there must be water for bathing." Bar. If you were asked to choose between a fox-eared lady and a horned lady, who would you like? I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 18. Chapter 18, Can't Leave the Tribe. Please collect. No, the witch cannot leave the tribe, Yanhua said with a serious face. This is what her father had always told her before she left. Never let the witch leave the tribe. Chief Yanjiao's head got hot and he didn't think too much. In order to find hemp-making materials as soon as possible, he took them away, all totem warriors. Why can't you leave? Subai frowned, and many bad suspicions flashed through his mind. House arrest? Or are you afraid that he will escape? This is for Wu's safety. Yanhua saw Subai's expression was not good looking, and said in a clear voice, "Wu, it's too dangerous outside. You are the pillar of our Yanlong tribe. What should we do if danger occurs?" What danger could there be? Aren't you here? Subai's serious face softened, as long as it's not under house arrest. Witch, you have just become a witch and there are some things you don't know. There are some exiled totem warriors who kidnap witches from small tribes and force them to perform inheritance rituals. Yan Hua seemed to have thought of something, and said bitterly, "One of the ancestors of our Yanlong tribe, one of the witches, was kidnapped by the exiled totem warrior. Later, the ancestors decided that the witch could not leave the tribe." There is such a thing, Subai said in shock. Being a witch is still a high-risk profession. There are exiled totem warriors who want to kidnap him. He thought about it for a moment and understood. The exiled totem warriors no longer have tribes. To be more precise, the tribes have disappeared. Witches, and they urgently need a witch, so they kidnap witches from other tribes for inheritance to ensure that the tribe will always have the birth of totem warriors. Wu, it's dangerous outside, but you are absolutely safe in the tribe, Yanhua persuaded seriously. There are 11 totem warriors in our tribe, but only 6 totem warriors go hunting. Is it because the remaining totem warriors want to protect the witches? Subai asked, squinting his eyes. Yes, Yanhua affirmed. In order to better persuade Subai not to leave the tribe, she continued, the chief is the strongest person in the tribe, and the reason why he does not go hunting is to protect the safety of the witch. What a waste of manpower! Subai shook his head. If there are many totem warriors, it's okay to stay with some in the tribe. But there are only 11 totem warriors in total. In order to protect the witch, 5 totem warriors were left behind. Even the strongest chieftain stayed in the tribe. It's no wonder that the supply of hunting meat exceeds demand. Of course, it's not that he doesn't care about his own safety, he just wants to make the most of the tribe's manpower and speed up the development of the tribe. Therefore, the first priority is to ensure your own safety. Subai came to such a conclusion. Therefore, there is still a lack of population. No, it should be a lack of totem warriors. There is no way to solve the problem of population for the time being, and totem warriors are not available at will, which basically limits his performance. Subai decided to solve the water source problem first. The new water source would free the remaining totem warriors from the work of carrying water. He had to convince the stubborn horned lady in front of him to take him to the water source to take a look. After all, he didn't know the way. Ah! The witch cannot leave the tribe, Yanhua said seriously again. She can agree to anything else, but she can't agree to things that endanger the safety of witches. However, after I observe the water source, I may be able to solve the water source problem so that everyone will not be short of water. Subai spread his hands and said. That's not okay, Yanhua said stubbornly. Don't you feel stinky? Subai wrinkled his nose and said, taking a small step back and fanning his nose with his palm. I don't stink, Yanhua shouted angrily. Yeah? Then if you smell it carefully, you will know how stinky it is. Subai took a step back again, with a look of disgust on his face. Just smell it. Yanhua was so angry that she gritted her teeth and lowered her head close to her chest. She sniffed with her straight nose. A sour smell poured into her nasal cavity, and she suddenly felt like she was suffocating. Yuying also followed suit and raised her arms. Smell it? Smelly, smelly. She stammered, her face turned pale, and she felt bad all over. Yanhua's face was very ugly, and many thoughts flashed through her mind. I stink so much. Do others think I stink too? It's so embarrassing. The human nose is very adaptable. If you smell too much odor on your body, you will feel that the odor on your body no longer smells as your nose adapts to the odor. Yanhua and Yuying are in such a situation now. They haven't showered for a few days and they don't feel that they stink. But they consciously notice that they stink, so everything they smell smells stink. How about it? Does it stink? Subai crossed his arms and joked, others can smell the odor on your body. Yanhua was at a loss for words, thinking that the people around her were discussing the stench on her body in private made her a little crazy. Subai then asked, have all the totem warriors in the tribe gone out? Have they been taken away by the chief? All were taken away. Yanhua's expression was a little unnatural, and she complained that her impulsive father was really unreliable and had left the important task of protecting the witch to her alone. Subai raised the corner of his mouth and asked lightly, there are not even totem warriors in the tribe. No, how can you protect me? It would be safer to go to the chief together. Okay, Yanhua lowered her head helplessly and was convinced. Let's go quickly, let's find the chief and the others first, and then go take a look at the water source. Subai feels that it is safer to have totem warriors around. Some hard work still requires people. After all, he has not started learning witchcraft yet, and the horned lady is not a totem warrior. If she encounters a ferocious beast, isn't it for nothing? Yuying, please don't go. Go and help Wu clean up his tent first. Yanhua said to fox-eared girl before leaving. Okay, be safe, Yuying gently warned. Please support me. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 19. The location of the Yanlong tribe is at the foot of a mountain forest, which is a relatively flat location. In the mountain forest to the west of the tribe, the horned lady was vigilantly clearing the way. Subai walked behind, maximizing his perception, trying to sense the potential dangers that might exist. Click. Yanhua worked hard to cut off a branch with a stone knife, and moved his ears slightly to catch the sound of whether the beast was alarmed. Do you know the way? Do you know where the chief is? Subai looked at the back of the horned lady, glanced at her buttocks, and wondered if she had a tail. After all, the fox-eared lady has a tail, so the horned lady should also have a tail, but it was blocked by the animal skin skirt. and he was embarrassed to ask Yanhua himself. You know, they should be over there at the collection site, only that side is safe enough, Yanhua responded casually. Where is the collection place? Is there a lot of food there? Subai asked curiously. There are not many, and they are almost all harvested. We will have to look for a new collection place in a few days, Yanhua shook her head and sighed. The people in the tribe are completely unfamiliar with the mountains and forests here. Unlike the mountains and forests in the ancestral land, they have been explored by the tribe for generations. They know where there is food and where flowers and fruits bloom, where is the danger. But now we are starting from scratch. The tribe members have only been here for more than 10 days, and they are not familiar with the mountains and forests here at all. It will get better in the future. Subai could only say this, but he was thinking about whether to relocate the tribe and choose a place with rich resources for development. Yanhua nodded heavily. The more the two of them walked up the mountain forest, the more lush the trees became. If Yanhua hadn't been familiar with the mountain forest and let Subai walk alone, he might have gotten lost soon. Half an hour later. Stop, Yanhua said in a low voice, bowing slightly and staring straight ahead with her red eyes. It's okay, he's a human being. Subai mentally sensed that there was a figure running in this direction in front of him. Yanhua frowned, a little unconvinced. Click click click. 3 seconds later, a man wearing animal skin clothing appeared, running in a hurry. What a human being! Yanhua was a little surprised and looked at Subai in surprise. She waved her hand at the running people and shouted in a clear voice, "Hey ya, why are you running so fast?" Eh? It's a flame flower. Hey ya ran over quickly. When he got closer, he saw Subai and shouted in shock, "Woo, why are you here?" I came over to see the water source. Subai looked at the person in front of him and saw a pair of 3-inch long black horns on Hey ya's forehead. His open mouth was full of sharp teeth and his pupils were brown. Only then did he remember that he had just when he woke up, the first person who spoke to him and led him outside the main tent. "Woo, it's too dangerous here. I'll take you back to the tribe," Blacktooth said eagerly. He glared at Horn Girl with dissatisfaction. She actually dared to bring a witch to the forest. Even if she is the chief's daughter, she will be punished by the tribe. Yanhua shrank her neck slightly, pouted her lips in grievance, and glanced at Subai with her red eyes, as if to say, "Come and explain." Subai received the look and explained, "Don't blame her, it was me who asked to come here. Woo, please go back to the tribe first. It's too dangerous nearby." Hiya persuaded. "What are you doing in a hurry?" Subai changed the subject. He finally came out. How could he go back to the tribe now? Ah. By the way, I almost forgot something important. Hey. Ye reacted and said anxiously, "Which, have you brought the witch dominoes? A totem warrior is injured." "I don't have the witch dominoes with me." Subai frowned and shook his head. He wanted to see the water source on a whim, so he didn't bring the witch dominoes with him. "Who is injured?" Yanhua said anxiously. "It was Maimang. He was scratched by the ferocious beast." Heiya responded in a low voice. "How heavy was the injury?" "Is it far from our place?" Subai asked hurriedly. "Totem warriors will only use witch dominoes if they are seriously injured. If they are only slightly injured, they don't care at all." "It was very heavy and there was a hole in the stomach. They were rushing towards the tribe from behind," Heiya said anxiously. He wanted to pick up the wizard and run to the tribe, but he didn't dare to be so disrespectful. "Take me there and I will heal with witchcraft," Subai ordered with a serious face. "There are already few totem warriors. If we reduce the number of soldiers, it will make things worse. He has not practiced the healing technique yet. It just so happens that there are injured people this time, so he can try the healing technique." "Specific effect? Which, have you learned witchcraft?" Heiya was stunned. "Didn't the chief say that it would take at least 30 days for a witch to learn a witchcraft?" Then he became entangled. It was too dangerous to take the witch into the mountains and forests. If something happened to the witch, he would be the leader of the tribe. Sinner. The longer it goes on, the more dangerous it will be for the injured. Subai shouted angrily, why are people in primitive societies so stubborn? They are all people who accept death. Good Haya gritted his teeth and replied. After he made the decision, he quickly led the way. The branches blocking the road were cut off with a stone knife, and the speed of advancement was much faster than Yan Hua leading the way. Click click click. Yan Hua and Subai had to run to keep up with Haya's speed. Is this the totem warrior? His physical fitness is too strong, at least 5 times that of an ordinary person, Subai murmured to himself. He had a preliminary understanding of the strength of the totem warrior, and wondered whether he could also awaken the totem and become a part-time totem warrior. After all, every man has some idea of wanting to be a warrior. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 20. Click click click. Yan Jiao carried a man in his 30s on his back and moved forward cautiously. There is a totem warrior in the front opening the way, and a totem warrior in the back pressing down to prevent wild beasts from smelling blood and coming to sneak attack. Mei Mang, hold on, press the totem pattern on the wound. Yan Jiao shouted loudly. No one expected that just looking for plants to make linen cloth, they would encounter a deadwood wolf, a top ferocious beast among hybrid beasts. The deadwood wolf is a kind of hairless beast. The wolf has a deadwood-like cuticle instead, and its defensive power is 30% higher than that of ordinary ferocious beasts. In addition to its strong defense, it is also concealable. It has a deadwood-like cuticle as a camouflage. It usually moves towards grass and trees. Just crouch down and wait for the prey to take the bait. Mei Mang was accidentally attacked because of his carelessness. If the deadwood wolf hadn't been less flexible, maybe his head would have been bitten off instead of being scratched on the stomach by his claws. Ahem, Mei Mang coughed hard for a few times and said weakly, Chief, I'm afraid I can't survive. He could clearly feel that his physical strength was disappearing, his body was getting colder, the totem pattern could not be condensed, and there was too much blood. Stop talking and focus on suppressing the wound. Yan Jiao roared in a low voice. He is also an experienced totem warrior. Of course he knows that Mei Mang is telling the truth. There is a slap-long wound in his stomach. Without the treatment of the witch domino, it is impossible to survive. Ahem, Chief, if you don't say anything else, you won't have a chance. Mei Mang grinned, but blood poured out of the corner of his mouth and dripped on Yan Jiao's shoulder. We are almost at the tribe, and the witch will definitely cure you. Yan Jiao quickened his pace in grief. Listen to me, after I die, give my share of dried meat to Mai Mao, and he should be able to awaken as a totem warrior this year, Mai Mang said, getting weaker and weaker. Mai Mao, his son, is 21 years old this year. Okay, I'm optimistic about your son. Yan Jiao's eyes are red, another brother is leaving. In the midst of sadness. Kakaka. Suddenly, 3 people appeared in the sight of Yan Jiao and the others. The leader was He Ya. Yan Jiao and the others were immediately overjoyed, thinking that He Ya had brought the witch dominoes. Chief, here I come, He Ya shouted happily. What about the witch dominoes? Take it out quickly, Yan Jiao shouted urgently. Ah! I didn't bring the witch dominoes. He Ya shook his head quickly and said. You didn't bring the witch dominoes? Yan Jiao's eyes widened, he glared at He Ya, and asked, You didn't bring the witch dominoes? What did you do when you came back? I brought the witch. He Ya got out of the way, revealing Subai and Yan Hua, who were bending over and panting. Are you here to make me angry on purpose? Yan Jiao trembled and roared, Who asked you to bring the witch here? Okay, if you keep scolding, people will die. Subai straightened up and said. Witch, have you brought the witch dominoes? Yan Jiao quickly suppressed his anger and asked expectantly, Mei Mang needs treatment from the witch dominoes now. His wounds are too serious. No, Subai shook his head. Yan Jiao blinked and asked hesitantly, which, you said you didn't bring the witch dominoes. Yes, Subai nodded affirmatively. Yan Jiao suddenly felt his gums itching. He turned around and glared at He Ya, feeling the urge to slap someone with totem tattoos. Put the person down and let me take a look at the wounds, Subai shouted. Which, now you have to go back to the tribe to get the witch dominoes. My Mang's wound can't delay, Yan Jiao roared hoarsely. If you want to save him, put him down quickly, Subai said more and more calmly. How can we save without witch dominoes? Yan Jiao still wanted to say something, but Heiya had already rushed up, holding Maimang and letting him go on the ground. It's really serious, Subai looked at the unconscious Maimang. The animal skin on the belly of the bag had been dyed red, and he could tell how much blood had been shed. He reached out and touched Maimang's neck, and found that there was still a faint beating, indicating that the person was still alive. Not dead yet. Take the hideaway. Subai raised his head and told Yan Jiao, I'm going to start treatment. Okay. Yan Jiao hurriedly squatted down, and after hesitating for a moment, he pulled open the animal skin on Maimang's abdomen. There was a hideous wound as long as a palm, and blood was pouring out, and his intestines could still be vaguely seen. Healing. Subai resisted vomiting, opened his palms towards the wound on Maimang's abdomen, and activated the healing skill. Suddenly, his palms emitted a green light, covering the wound like spring rain, making people feel relaxed and happy when they saw it. Is this witchcraft? Yan Jiao's eyes widened and he looked at the green light in disbelief. Isn't it said that learning witchcraft is difficult? Does it take at least 30 days? Old witch, you lied to me. It only takes 1 day. Chief, you actually lied to me and said that it takes at least 30 days for a witch to learn witchcraft, Heiya said angrily. Ahem, Yan Jiao coughed twice in embarrassment. Is this witchcraft? Yan, whose red eyes stared closely at the emerald green light, and miraculously found that the wound on Maimang's abdomen was slowly healing. Although the speed was a bit slow, it was still healing. 5 seconds later, the emerald green light disappeared. Call, Subai looked at the wound on Maimang's abdomen, which was as big as half a palm. One healing spell leave one could only last for 5 seconds. The main reason was that the wound was too big and it was cracked. If it was a normal wound, it would have been long ago healed. He used the healing technique again, the emerald green light appeared again, and Maimang's wound was slowly healing. It took 3 healing spells in a row to heal Maimang's wounds.